MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace. Could yesterday been the fastest day that any of us have ever seen?
I know, it flew by. Mm-hmm.
Blink, here we are. It's Tuesday morning, 68 as we head for high, about 88 today. Gonna be warm.
Yes, but it's gonna be pretty, I think,
Look,
and hot.
Yes, it will be. All right, I managed to straighten one picture back there on the wall, and maybe that one behind my head there may be crooked too. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know we have a lot of people that just bothers.
It bothers me if I see it, but I don't know. It doesn't. You talking about this one? Well, over here.
Yeah,
everything's backwards on here.
That is so weird.
Yeah, I'm actually over here.
She's on the right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the left, and it doesn't look that way. How things are reversed. It's real weird.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone.
Yes.
We've had a little incident here in the last few minutes out in Russell at the Chevron gas station. Let's go to Facebook to show you what we've got so far. This is the scene there. A garbage truck has overturned. The volunteer fire department is on the scene this morning. Let's zoom in on this picture a little bit better where you can see that. Yep, that's dirty.
Yeah.
No other way to word that. Apparently, the weight being a little bit more than the truck could handle when it turned and flopped.
Yeah.
No one is injured, but that'll make you go have to buy new underwear, too.
Yeah.
Can you
that
imagine?
was scary. When you just flip on over to the side.
That feel, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I've been on a four-wheeler when it done that, and it is nothing comparison to what a big truck would feel like.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's okay. Just a little scare there, and they'll get everything cleaned up here in a little while. No oil spills or anything like that. Just good old garbage
Yeah.
that somebody's got to get a shovel now and pick up.
Oh, goodness. But I am glad everybody's okay.
Yes, that's the great news. Anything going on in your world this morning?
No, I'm just going to, I've got a short day at work today, so I'm going to get some stuff done I've been needing to get done. So
No, get all over that. Hey, we got a message just a minute ago from the circuit clerk here in Lauderdale County, so I thought we would share what she had to say. The June 7th is the Republican primary election for Congressional District 3. They're asking that voters check their calendars for vacation dates, conference, if you've got a surgery coming up, to see if they need to vote absentee. Now, the absentee ballots are available now in the circuit clerk's office. If you're going to be working during the polling hours from 7 to 7 p.m., you might also want to vote absentee. Lauderdale County has returned to using precinct scanners with paper ballots, and there is no long lines with the prior touchscreens, if y'all remember that. So that's been cleared up. Voter ID is required with any government-issued picture ID, your driver's license, etc., to use at the poll there. Out-of-state driver's license are acceptable as well as one of the most not over 10 years of expiration date. So got to prove who you are.
yeah.
How they do it here in the
the paper
South.
ballots are a good idea too. So.
Well, those other things, if y'all remember when you voted, it took such a long time to pick up, to get out of there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you see this in these large cities where people turn out to vote, and you can see how it would be discouraging where they stand for 3 hours to go vote. Who would want to do that?
I know, especially after you worked all day and you have to go in the evening.
That's right. So that's a few of the things. And I guess we ought to move to the big nasty, and I'm going to call it that went on in our area yesterday. As we all know by now, there was a robbery yesterday in our area. And this would be Highway 45 North, Highway 39, where it splits there. The Coca-Cola plant sits over to the right, AutoZone, and the old Winn-Dixie, which is now Planet Fitness.
It is.
That right?
Yes, it is.
Here is what happened. Let's pull this up where you can see. Approximately at 1:45 p.m. yesterday afternoon, a gentleman walked inside this store. This is Tobacco Haven. I dropped by and spoke with him yesterday, and extremely nice. Of course, it would scare anybody that had been robbed. And this guy is very calm. He's very slick. And you pointed out something to me just a minute ago of what you thought.
What about the?
It could be tied to other.
He looks a lot like the same guy who robbed. I guess it was at a Shell station.
Shell station by airport.
Right down from the airport not long ago. And also, I had seen a thing where in Union, Mississippi, they were looking for someone, and it looked a lot like the same guy, but I couldn't be 100%, but dressed the same, cap, polo shirt.
and the little
and the thing pulled up. Yeah, so
now let's look at the
could be
video.
the same
of this.
person, you know.
Now, I've got, if you want to examine this, look, because we've had a lot of people, and it's like a moth to a flame. It is with me because I have to stare at it and watch what that person does. Now, the first video that you're going to see does not show him show the gun, and the second video, which is not as good, where I'd recorded it from a phone, does show the gun. But what he does, he walks up to the counter and he pulls up his shirt, showing that, hey, I've got a gun, and then he pulls the bank bag out of the same breeches. I've been trying to
bank bag.
Yeah, I was trying to see if there was markings on the bank bag that could trace them back maybe to a bank, but I don't see one.
I kept trying to zoom in on the hat because there is an emblem on the front of the hat, but then it kind of looked to me like it was covered up. So,
all right, let's look at this. Let's pull this up where everybody can watch this video here. Let's go to this next picture and pull this up. Here's the scene. There's the bag. Now the gun is right there. A pretty tall guy. Now,
it looks almost like he says no to the clerk.
And he's asking for specific bills, as you can see there.
Yeah, he didn't want the smaller bills. You could tell he was fixing to give him the 5s or the 1s, and he said,
Now let's look at this here. This does not. Right there is the gun.
See, I didn't even see a gun.
He's got it right there in his breeches, and I'll let that play one more time there when he walks up right there. So he did have one. Okay. That is the scene of what happened yesterday. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Again, this was around 1:45. The guy, broad daylight.
When was this picture taken right here of the store?
Yesterday.
After?
Yeah, right after the robbery. I got out of the car and snapped the picture. I had gotten several inboxes going, where are you? There's a robbery going on.
Yeah.
And I thought, whoa, I'm right here.
Yeah.
So I whipped in there, and that's what was going on.
Goodness.
Can y'all believe that?
I hope they catch the guy.
He deserved.
Yeah. But it was kind of odd. The guy never got off the telephone. I mean, I think I'd have said, I got to go. I'm being robbed. Or something.
He was on a very important call. So that's what we learned yesterday. Now, again, with this, no one hurt. If you were in the area, I'm told that maybe the guy was driving a red car, is what I was told. So as we find out more about that, maybe we'll get some video of the vehicle that he's driving. That would be a game changer.
Yeah, that would be.
Of what witnesses they said, but said he's a pretty buff guy.
He looked like he had dark hair to me, because you could see it right here past his hat. Between the little, what do you call those things? It's like everybody used them as a mask.
Bandana.
Yeah, they pulled it up. When those pull-up mask, I'm hitting the microphone.
Jesse James used those at one time.
Yeah, but he did like he had dark hair, so.
And somebody made a comment, and we will get to that this morning, about Vicky and the love gone wrong in Alabama. We will talk about that.
That was very bad.
Neighborhood Watch program coming up this week. If you live on State Boulevard and you're tired of crime, the Meridian Police Department would like for you to come out and be a part of this. Here we go, and this is it, the Neighborhood Watch program. It's going to be Thursday night at 6 p.m. So you got a little time there right after supper. Or maybe right after work. It's located at 3000 State Boulevard. If you can swing in and be a part of this, if you're fed up with gunshots, people taking things that aren't theirs, come to this. Find out how you can be a part of the solution of stopping these people.
That's right. Wouldn't it be great if everybody could have cameras at their house? I know that's not probably possible. I mean, and they're not cheap either to buy.
But it's slowly and eventually that is coming. More people have the Ring thing. Right. That's one way of doing it. Some people have the cameras. Not everybody.
Nest, I think, is one of them, isn't it?
And then if all else fails, put a deer camera out there.
Yeah. That'll snap all the movement, even at night.
Some of us can't figure out how to get the camera card out of it. You ever had one of those? Just a little thought there. Now, there were some, last night there was a small, I mentioned this earlier, a small chase by Meridian Police Department. This time, I know what everybody's thinking. It's a 67 Impala with glass packs. It's loud. He's trying to get away. Wrong. It was a dirt bike.
Really?
No helmet, I think, is what may be one of the reasons they were going to pull him over for the first time. But he didn't stop. He kept going and going, kind of like the Energizer Bunny. And let's look at where we last saw him. last night around 35th Avenue and 35th Street. This is where he was roaming on that dirt bike. It was bright yellow. You can't miss it.
Goodness. It makes you kind of wonder if he ran because maybe
he had other things that he may have done.
Yeah,
That's typically what goes on with this.
Yeah.
He ain't stopping me. But
just add to them now.
And with a dirt bike, you can go places that a patrol car cannot. He could have easily went off into the woods, and they never knew it. You get just a little bit ahead.
The sound of a dirt bike, you're not going to go where nobody hears you. So,
I'm going to put you on that show, Monk. I think she could be a great...
Oh, I think I could be a
Murder,
great
She Wrote.
Private detective. Yeah.
Were you big into Murder, She Wrote?
I was like a teenager. I wasn't into that kind of stuff then. I was into going out with my friends and stuff, but my grandmother used to watch it religiously.
I was making a cup of coffee this morning. I don't know, it was 3:30, something like that, and the TV was on, and it may be an episode of Monk or one of those things, but do you remember the old days where the private detective type went out and forced people to admit that they'd done the crime? Yeah. Nowadays, all they're going to say is, contact my lawyer and turn around and slam the door. Yeah. They're not going to talk to you. So, and I haven't watched the new crime shows. Do they still do that sleuth thing to where people accidentally tell? And the way the laws are now, even if they admitted to it, it could be used in a court of law.
Yeah. I think women could be really good detectives, though, because,
they're bad.
They can make people
make their life miserable is what she said.
Well, you can make them think you already know they did it. You might as well just come clean.
So you're saying moms against criminals is what you're saying.
Yeah.
There was a few months back, I forget which crime it was, but the police had somebody, and he goes, "Yep, we weren't getting the truth until Mama showed up." And he goes, after that, they had a moment of the mom truth, and they admitted to what they had done and got their punishment and went on. It wasn't anything major, but they had somebody detained, and they wouldn't give the truth until Mama showed up.
Yeah.
And that's why I say with these neighborhood watch programs, get involved. Get some mamas involved. That is a game changer in communities.
That's right.
That's right. So there we go. We got some more coming up. We'll talk about some gunshots and things that happened in our area overnight. Let you know where they were in relation to where you live, where you travel every day. No one's been hurt, but we want to go over all of that. That's up and coming. Stay close. We'll share all that with you here in just a moment. The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built in, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group.
I'm attorney Richard Schwartz. Accidents happen, but getting you everything you deserve may not happen without an experienced law firm on your side.
From the moment you call, we go to work.
Investigating responsibly while keeping you updated constantly.
We're available 24 hours a day, so don't wait.
For more than 30 years, we've helped get our injured clients' medical bills paid
and fought to get them the most money possible. Remember, one call, that's all.
Alrighty, 14 minutes after the hour. How's everybody feeling? We certainly hope you're good.
Yeah, I hope you're having a wonderful morning. It's a pretty morning.
A slower day for you, as you said?
Yeah, it's going to be a slower day for me. It is humid outside, though.
It is.
The humidity is kind of high out there.
And when we get into this forecast, y'all be ready for this. Next week, as we look 2 weeks out, we are 95, 97, around the 20th of the month. 97 degrees is forecasted. So that means summer's coming. You remember that old Clint Black song?
Yeah.
Summer's coming? Yeah.
That's right.
All right, as I mentioned, some gunshots last night. If you were in the area of College Park and you're going, what was that? You were right. It was the sound of gunfire as Meridian Police Department investigated. This is going to be, let's back out and show you the map here of where all this stuff was. This is 8th Street. This is Taco Bell. 1 block down, right in that area, gunshots were reported. I also heard some shots that were reported up in there. And again, all of these that I'm reporting, nothing was hit. Nothing bad, nothing happened there. Let's go to our next location. You remember where we had the murder a few weeks back? This was in that same general area. Let's go to Highway 19 or Highway 11. Maybe you want to call this Airport Boulevard all the way up to College Park. Right over here west, if if you'll get here, here's cash salvage. Here's where the murder happened, right there. Right over here on Cooper Circle, we had reports of gunfire last night. Now, again, no one was hurt, no damage reported, but that did happen there last night.
Goodness.
If you were out and about and you heard something, it doesn't sound right. So we want to make absolutely sure you're up on that. Also, I had reports, and I haven't gotten confirmation on this. I mentioned it, but possibly someone's roof was hit with some gunfire yesterday, and this was going to be up north of Anderson's Hospital, back in here where we've heard a lot of gunfire and play in here. Right in that area there, possibility of some gunfire that may have hit a home. No one was hurt, but that's what went on yesterday. Just to keep you up to date on all that go on in our area there. Now,
so I wonder if these people live in the areas that they pretty much frequent with the gunfire.
You know, a lot of times it's people from other neighborhoods. And let's just get down to it. Do we think it's gang activity? Yes, we do. And it's a lot of times maybe someone from the west side of town visiting the east side, showing that, hey, I'm in charge.
Yeah.
Can I prove that? No. But it's a mess out there. Be careful of what goes on there. Something looks suspicious, call the police. They don't mind you talking to them.
Yeah. I always tell what you know, and you can do it anonymously. I can't hardly say that word.
Coming out in her.
Yeah.
How come you're 10 minutes late getting home? That wasn't on your place. How much money did you spend? I just bought a Coke. Y'all know how the wives do you. Now, the biggest, nastiest thing going on in the state of Mississippi is the welfare fraud. Everybody up on this?
Yeah.
Shad White, who is known far and wide now in the state of Mississippi for bringing down people that spend money inappropriately, has busted this. A lawsuit has been filed this week in the state of Mississippi dealing with this. $24 million. The state of Mississippi has filed it, demanding money from WWE wrestlers, 34 other people, and also Bret Favre. Now, the article that I read on this was from Mississippi Today. I'm going to post this. It is well worth it. If you live in the state of Mississippi, you need to read this. This intertwines the governor, you go back when Phil Bryant was governor, of favors that were done, promises that were made. It even makes accusations that after he got out of office, and again, accusations, nothing proved, but it says in here in the article that he would have going to be rewarded with some stock in a company later on. Of course, he hadn't gotten that yet. As arrests were made, things were backed off on.
So they used welfare funds to pay these people? Is that what you're saying?
Well, and you go back to the Bret Favre thing, regardless of whether he'd done anything wrong or not on his end, funds came from that to pay him to go speak at an event.
And he did not speak, right?
Right, he did not. He's returned some of the money. Not all of it. Shad White tells him, what was that figure, 200 and something thousand? Now, I'm not accusing Bret of, I think Bret thinks he didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
But there are text messages in between him and the governor that link all of this. And the two people that were arrested, and they've admitted they've got jail time coming. The mother and son that were arrested on that. News, I think, is there. Nancy New and her son, Zach, already at the big house, involved in all this scandal. It's deep. It's very deep. And I don't know. I'd have to have it laid out on a piece of paper to really, and I'm going to have to do that because this is not going away.
Right.
But they're wanting some money back. And it did not go to where it was intended. The poorest of the poor in Mississippi that needed this money. $24 million could be life-changing for people that needs it.
Yeah. I wonder, did they know that's where the money was coming from? Even though, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and
the
I can't
ones that were
answer
paid or whatever, if they knew.
And they may be
somebody
innocent.
knew, and if the governor knew something about it, I mean, they need to.
Yeah, and the governor was kind of like the go-between between people that could make things happen, of sponsorships.
It looks like the governor should know everything.
Should.
About what goes on.
Sometimes there's creepy people who work under someone that you really don't know that are crooked themselves.
Oh, yeah.
But again, Phil Bryant is tied into this somewhere. Again, I'm not accusing him because I don't know that, but he made connections according to these text messages in here. Yeah. Oh, and I mentioned that name, Shad White. Y'all be looking. I've gotten confirmation this morning that Shad White's been in Kemper County for the last 2 weeks.
Huh.
Expect whenever Shad White shows up somewhere, usually there's an announcement
Yeah.
a little bit later. 2 weeks is a long time. So we'll wait to see if there's anything to it, or if he was just passing through and wanted to have a cup of coffee in downtown DeKalb.
Yeah.
But his peoples is all, and I say peoples as a joke with an S on the end of it.
Yeah.
His peoples is all over Kemper County digging in paperwork. What will happen? We don't know. We'll find out
Best
there.
thing to do is just be on the up and up
Yeah.
at all times. Do the right thing.
Sometimes an employee is told to do something by someone above them to do it, and they're innocent. They don't know. But at the top of the food chain, there's somebody that done something wrong.
Right. What
Shad
goes
White.
up must come down.
And it makes you wonder. This man's name, somebody brought this up to me earlier this week, over the weekend. Shad White's name is in the news every day in some shape, form, or way. And usually it's in a good light where he's saving people their money, showing that he really cares for the state of Mississippi. Do we see Shad before long going for that governor? I mean, it does make you think he's trustworthy.
Yeah.
And you'll
Get
have
to the bottom of things.
Yeah, if you told the mark, if you work for this man, if you work under him, he would make you toe a line that you've never told before.
I think a lot of our systems, like maybe the welfare system too, it needs to be overhauled. I mean,
Yeah.
I really think things need to be, I don't know what you'd call
But
it.
there's a lot of grants
Redone
and
with
things that goes on in nationwide as well, not only in the state of Mississippi, that really needs the money that is spent on projects that really don't benefit
Yeah.
what they're supposed to go to. We would love to have somebody at Pennsylvania Avenue that would do that.
Right.
Shad, have you thought about that? 1600. Head on up there. Maybe you'll straighten
You're
things
supposed
out.
to make the country and your states and your countries better, not run them in the ground. So, yeah, that would be great to have somebody
Now,
in Washington.
LaWanda just made a point to us, and if this is your first time watching us, welcome. If you're watching from television, you can join us online at Facebook or on YouTube and comment to us. LaWanda made a comment there. The money that was wasted here could have been used for helping infants with baby formula.
Yeah.
And of course, that goes back to the White House. I even read last night where mothers are being forced to give their children baby formula that they're not supposed to drink because there's nothing else and they're getting sick.
Yeah, some of them have tried, I don't even know how you do that, but had tried to make their own baby formula. I don't know how that works, but I did hear where there's some mothers, and not everybody is able to do this, but that maybe have family members across the United States that says, you know, if you see some formula in your thing, please just get it and ship it to me because, you know, our stores are out of it. Because there are stores that are completely, in states that are completely sold out, you know.
It is. But
I don't understand how this is happening, though. Where is the breakdown?
where's the and you know, I'm not a mother, and I have to admit all my kids are grown, and Angie kind of handled,
Yeah.
I can't lie, all the feeding because I was always scared that I wouldn't be able to
Yeah.
pat them on the back. She
Here they
handled,
get choked.
Yeah, Angie handled all that. But apparently, a child gets used to one type of formula, and sometimes they can't have other formulas and
right.
could get extremely sick from drinking something that.
Yeah, their little stomachs they're all different, you know, but some of them, their stomachs are extremely sensitive to
There's a
some
word you'll never hear
different-
me say. A little stomach on my end.
But yeah, it's bad because like my grandson could only have a certain kind of formula because the other would either make him have a stomach ache or throw up or
Right.
So, but babies are like that. I had a couple of them that were like that. So.
As we go to Illinois, we had a couple of comments here. I wanted to bring this up. In Illinois today, heat index is going to be, is that Silvis, Illinois?
Silvis.
Silvis. It's going to be 100 with heat index today. Gasoline there is at $4.35 a gallon. Now,
Goodness.
I've seen it in the Meridian area at $4.09 a gallon. And the headline in front of me that I'm looking at here says gas prices hit all-time high. And that's where we are. It's not going to change for at least the next foreseeable 2 years, I don't think.
Yeah.
It's holding steady and climbing. How much more can the American worker, no matter how you slice this up, who you are, you go to work, you have to pay the gas to get there. That's directly off the top. Then it goes up on food and everything that affects you because everybody's paying more and prices have to climb. America is a breaking point at some point. And I think it may be November of this year where America has their breaking point and goes, I don't want this anymore.
Yeah, I went to the grocery store yesterday, and I was going to get, I was looking at prices of meat and stuff, and just a roast was $28. A roast. Now, a chuck roast, $28.
You got to stretch that as long as you. It's going to be some diets coming up, I'm afraid.
Yes.
But that's what's happening across America right now. Yeah. Gas prices soaring. We want them to go down. Who remembers those $1.69 days? It's amazing if you drill your own oil what you can do.
You have to get creative and buy the larger packs of hamburger meat and divide them up. If you find one at a good price,
Yeah.
divide them up, put them in the freezer.
Here's the scene yesterday as it was brought up there a minute of, hey, what went on? The Alabama love affair. Vicky White, she helped the escapee get out. They were on the run. Evansville, Indiana. I've been there. I stayed there probably about 3 weeks in Evansville, Indiana, just barely across the Kentucky line. As you go up there, it's just right there. A car chase happened yesterday afternoon. And here's a picture of the wreck after they went into that. This is the car. They were driving in an older Cadillac as we do this, and we come up on this. I think I got another picture somewhere of it after it was overturned. Here it is. This is after they flipped the car back over. Car kind of blends in. That wouldn't be a suspicious, flashy car that criminals were riding around in. She took her own life. She fired a single gunshot. She wasn't dead when they got there. She was rushed to the hospital. She later succumbed to a personal injury that she put on herself. So she committed suicide. We will never know now what went through that woman's mind. Did she leave notes behind? Probably not. I don't think. Maybe.
Yeah.
This is awful. This is where love will lead you.
It's crazy. It's crazy that I hate that she got herself into all that because they, from what everybody was commenting about her, she seemed like a good person, very smart lady, good employee.
That point.
Yeah, up until then.
What made her snap? Does it boil down to she just needed attention?
I don't know. They said that she had been having a romantic affair type thing with him for years. But it had not just started. So.
And here's a picture of her. Not a mark on her name. 17 years there, and never got into anything. But love is. There's been wars fought over love, folks. You can go back to the Bible and read all of this. It's been going on since time. And she thought she could. You look at the big picture of this now. You've got a job. He's a criminal. You break out. You can't be on the run for the rest of your life. They would haunt. He was a murderer. They would follow you to the ends of the earth looking for you.
Talking about on the run, did anybody get the Amber Alert on their phone last night? From the guy?
And that's they found the child. They
did. Okay. Yeah, he was headed from Louisiana, is what it looked like. And at the last time I saw, he was in Mississippi, the 142-mile marker in Mississippi.
Yeah, but all that's been taken care of, thank goodness.
Good.
But that's a rundown of what went on yesterday. We'll find out if there's any notes or anything that she gave. Maybe she wrote a diary in the end of this is why I done this.
Yeah.
I felt. She stayed with her husband till he died, and I didn't know that she was divorced until I got to reading all of this and more. They've been divorced for some time and still live together, and he passed away from whatever illness he had.
I wonder if she did. I mean, you think she really took her own life? You think he shot her?
It's a good question. But it would be bad, and we all know this.
Yeah.
When an officer goes to jail, it is not good.
Yeah, she would not have been treated well, I don't imagine.
Yeah.
So,
Clarence pointing out there about world order and food. Something to think on there if you're watching. Parkinson is what her husband had.
Okay.
LaWanda said there. But watch our food. Very important there. We've got a lot more to go. We're just getting started. This morning gets underway. 8:29. Thank y'all for being a part of this. I'm Scotty Ray. This is Candace.
Yeah.
She's wearing her sunflowery. What is that? That's just sunshine or sunflower?
I think it's just got little shapes on it. There's no flowers. Yeah, it's sunshine colored shapes.
Oh, more on the way. Y'all stay close.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
One of the most important places to you is your home. That's why Patrick Allen Companies is proud to provide style, functionality, and security to your home. There's nothing quite like a well-designed overhead garage door or vinyl replacement windows, or the safety of a storm shelter to help your family feel protected. Patrick Allen offers doors and windows for commercial and industrial with dozens of innovative designs. Patrick Allen Companies, safety, service, and satisfaction.
And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray and Candace. It's already 8:30 is where we are.
It is flying by.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Time just flies right on by.
Let's go back and look at a few things that happened on this date as we go back. There's always this guy's name will forever be in history when you hear the British are coming. The British are coming. You think of one name, the midnight ride of Paul Revere. It was upon this date that Paul passed away in the year of 1818. Now, I don't know how many miles he rode on that night. I've never looked at his trek of how far he rode on that horse with that lantern. One if by sea, I'm forgetting there. What it was, it was 3 lanterns, and they would hang them in the tower as to which way they were coming. I'll check into my history. I can't remember that
History
one.
was not my favorite subject.
One
That
if
or
by-
math.
1 if by land, 2 if by sea, and I don't know what was the third. It was on this date also back in 1863 that General Stonewall Jackson would pass away. And of course, as we all know, Stonewall was shot by his own troops as he re-entered his camp that night. He would make it a couple days and die from his wounds there. Pneumonia would in the end take him there after being shot. This guy, and I've never been a dancer. That just has never been my thing. But there's been a lot of people throughout history that were really good at it. And this guy was well known for it. Who remembers Fred Astaire? Born in 1899. He could move around, and I can't remember the girl that was in a lot of the movies with him, but he was a big star. That seemed to fade away after the 40s. The dancing movies just didn't catch on anymore. The musicals.
I still like to watch stuff like that, though.
But I've never
It makes
been
you
in an
happy.
environment there and smiling and start dancing in the street. No, I can say that's never been what I've done.
Did he like tap dance, though? A
little bit of all of it.
Yeah.
He was good at what he done.
Yeah.
Like Mary Poppins. Didn't Mary Poppins do that also?
Tapped. I don't know, but she danced. I
That's what
think.
I'm talking about.
Yeah,
It just
yeah,
did-
She did. Yeah, she did.
Musicals. Elvis just sang at the Speedway. We're going to win this race. No matter what it was. 1964, you'd be standing in the supermarket line and you'd look over and who was there? It was Gomer. He was on the cover of TV Guide. And TV Guide looked a little bit different back in the day in 64.
Yeah, it was TV Magazine.
There you go. Wow. 1970, this would be one of the biggest songs that really shaped her career. It would be released upon this date, and it would be made a movie. Ginger Rogers was the name there.
I was going to say that because of the Madonna song. She says Ginger Rogers, Fred Astaire,
Yeah. And while we're,
I was thinking, I wonder if it was Ginger Rogers.
and since we're answering things that are going on there, Paul Revere's ride was approximately 12 and a half miles, Jackie Thompson. Now, y'all got to remember, a horse at dark, 12 and a half miles,
Yeah. Poor
that was
horse.
a pretty big deal back then.
Yeah.
All right, as going back to what we were talking about, this would become a movie. It was the song that shaped her, and we're talking Loretta Lynn, Coal Miner's Daughter, was released on this date. It would be hitting radio stations. You would hear it for the first time in a few hours, most likely.
Yeah.
Wow. 1983, this would be the last episode of this. We all watched it for years. Milwaukee, Wisconsin is where the show took place, and they tried to make it on meager funds of working at a beer factory. Who remembers the show Laverne and Shirley?
I liked it. I thought it was funny.
I know you were a big fan of Squiggy. I mean,
Lenny and Squiggy?
Lenny.
No. Mm-mm. And Carmine?
Carmine.
Yeah,
He was
the
another
guy.
one of those dancing men.
Yeah, he was.
That wanted to
Didn't
tap-
he sing and dance or something?
Never was really good at it, but Maybe you like that, but it didn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
Always a dancer.
Goodness.
Those shows are gone. 1970s, I had to show this because she was proud of it. It was 1976, and she would get a gift for her birthday. Got a little early here, and she was standing out front. Here it is, Tammy Wynette on the hood of her Thunderbird. She got a present. George gave it to her.
Those big old cars back then.
Thunderbirds floated back in the day. Let's see here.
They don't make cars like that anymore. Those were like solid.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, you could be in a fender bender in that and not even know it.
Well, let me just tell you, I had a little, what was it, a Nissan Altima one time, and I bumped into the back of one of those things. And on the back bumper, it had like these things sticking out.
Yeah, the bumper guards.
Yeah. Well, it went right through the front of my little plastic bumper, I guess it is, on those new cars. But
didn't hurt it, did it?
You can even tell that. You can even tell the other car had even been hit, and it looked like I'd been in like a major fender bender.
Oh, have mercy.
Anyway,
Bill made a point there of Laverne and Shirley. It did start out in Milwaukee, and then they moved to California. I had forgotten about that. They wanted to change it up a little bit.
okay.
That's about when the show changed too.
Yeah.
And those two never got along after that show.
You wouldn't think that, with them working together like that. Maybe they never liked each other. Who knows?
And that could be the case. I guess in time there's been a lot of that you didn't know what went on behind the scenes. Right. 1982, this would shape so many families of goodness. I think this guy stood for this. He would go on to do one more TV series after this. He's known for 3, and who are we talking about? The last episode appeared in 1982, Little House on the Prairie. Mm-hmm. What a show that was.
It was a good show.
Always had great morals.
Yeah.
Reverend Alden never got a wife, and neither did Doc Baker. They were just lonely. And I think that's how Farmers Only got started.
Who played the little girl on here?
She never
mentioned
talked.
It not long ago. Who played the little girl?
You could probably add up all of her lines in 10 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she didn't say
nothing.
Much. I can't remember.
Carrie was her character name on the TV.
Okay.
But I don't know what her real name was.
Okay.
I think Jack the dog talked more than she did. And then Nasty Nellie was on there also.
Oh yeah, Nellie Olson.
But that's a quick look at what went on this day. Not as many things occurred on history on this day, but that went away. Of course, he would go on to do Highway to Heaven after that, Michael Landon.
Yeah.
And then we've seen this in the last little bit where people are coming out trying to tarnish his character later. He was mean. He done this. Whatever you want to say, he got the job done. He was good at it.
Yeah.
Now, I wasn't there on scene, but Michael, regardless, he believed in the right thing. Mm-hmm. I do believe that. From Little Joe, every character he ever played was good. And that Highway to Heaven was really good.
It was a good show. That was. You don't have stuff like that anymore.
I saw an episode the other day where Albert also guest appeared in Highway to Heaven. If you're just keeping tabs. Yeah. It was a lot of the same guests there that appeared on that show. Got a lot of people watching. Thank y'all there.
Yeah.
A lot of comments on that Ginger Rogers thing. She was a beautiful woman. Mm-hmm. So there you go. As we begin this, as we said, we're looking at 70 degrees right now as we start to climb now. The temperature is going to go up to about 88 before it's all said and done today. A warm day in store for us. Stay close. We've got more on the way as we kind of navigate you through this morning as it begins. Thank y'all for dropping by. We'll tell you more here in a moment. Spring is here, and it's time to quit spending all of your weekend cutting grass when you could step up to a Skag zero-turn mower. Freeman Tractor in Collinsville has the #1 rated zero-turn mower, Skag, with cutting widths from 36 inches to 72 inches. Skag, the #1 choice of professional landscapers because they know nothing outcuts or outlasts a Skag. 0% financing for 48 months with payments starting as low as $129 a month. Stop by Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 and see coleslaw or buttermilk. Rockhouse Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rockhouse will have the gun that you need. With a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rockhouse Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian.
The Golden Apple Award, presented by MeTV, EMEPA, the Meridian Star, and our partners in education. Nominate your favorite teacher at twinstates.news.
Whoa, that was quick.
It was quick.
Let's see here. General Hospital star. You ever watch General Hospital?
I used to a good bit. Mm-hmm.
There's nothing worse than finding out that your wife is pregnant and you're not expecting it. It kind of catches you off guard.
Yeah.
It's even worse when you find out that it's not your kid.
That would be bad.
Yeah, General Hospital happened in real life. The star of this, Steve Burton. They're getting a divorce now after she admitted it's not yours.
Now, which character?
Couldn't tell you. I don't watch it.
Who plays Steve Burton's character? Y'all know.
Well, I think Steve Burton's his real name.
I know his character.
Oh, I couldn't. I don't know. But anyway, his marriage
that would
is
be
gone.
A big damper on your day to find out that. That would be bad.
It's not the first time in America this has happened.
Oh, yeah.
Just want to let y'all know in case you're wondering there. But it's going to be a little.
Oh, okay. Is that him right there?
That's him. I don't know him.
Okay, he played. What's his name? I'm drawing a blank.
Somebody said Jason. Is
Jason? Yes. He's been killed off like a couple of times. I think. And he comes back or.
Anyway, I've never watched General Hospital, know anything about it. I felt sorry for him there, finding out that he's going to have another child there, and he was kind of shot.
Yeah.
Till he found out it wasn't his.
You know, I thought he lost his job along with the other guy over the COVID vaccine thing that they refused to get it or something. I thought that's when he lost his job, but maybe not.
Sound like he should have went home.
Mm-hmm.
Took care of a few things.
Yeah.
Didn't work out for him there, did it? Whew.
Goodness.
Let's see. Wisconsin, there's been some bad things. We look at headlines going on there. Cops confirmed that Molotov cocktails were used by Antifa as they firebombed a pro-life charity office this week.
Goodness.
These folks that are bad are bad. Here's a picture of the office there of what's left after they firebombed it there. Threw that in. Meanness. Just because you don't agree with someone's political beliefs or whatnot does not allow this. This should not be condoned. Hopefully they'll arrest the ones that done this and they'll do a little time over that. Do you remember the lake in Lake Mead where they found a body in the barrel a few weeks back?
Yes, I do.
As the water shrinks as it gets hotter, guess what? Second body has been found. They think they've both been there since the 1970s.
My goodness.
I wonder if Jimmy Hoffa is anywhere near it.
Was this the young boy that they found the body of?
I hadn't read exactly who they think it is. It's just a skull is all I've read so far.
I had seen the other day where there was a body of a young boy found that was, I guess he come up missing in the 70s or the 80s.
Maybe so. But two bodies as this goes down. And you'll see this. There's a group that is really interesting that are on YouTube that go around and they dive into lakes. And they'll take cold case files. And you would be shocked as to how many cars they pull up with bodies and things that have been missing for umpteen dozen years. Somebody went missing, never got home. And they trace this and they do it live on there.
Yeah. I think years ago, was there not one found in a reservoir out here?
Yes,
years
there was a Mustang found out there.
Goodness.
And it'd be easy as you go across that. Guardrails are there now. I don't know if they were there all along, but you can see if there wasn't one, how it could go off in that.
Oh, goodness.
Maybe a landing somewhere, a car go off in one. Tyson Foods, as we mentioned food prices a while ago, are already saying it's coming up. They're having increased salaries because employees have got to have it. Everything is climbing. Chicken going up 14%. Beef skyrockets 24%.
Yeah, yesterday, that's another thing at the grocery store. I know y'all love hearing me talk about it. But a whole chicken, you used to get a whole chicken for like a little bit of nothing. It's like $10 to $12, $13 now.
For chicken now?
For a whole chicken that you have to cut up, and fry. Or either you can...
And expect this to go up in the fast food industry. Don't think that it's just food that you cook. When you go to that counter and order that's going to be going up. They have no choice.
And I can understand. I mean, you got to make profit of your business. So, if you're having to pay more for the food to make it, you got to charge more for people to get it. So
Margie Lancaster says that there's been more barrels found. It sounds like the mafia may have been using this place. There in Lake Mead. We'll get into more of that.
And Lake Mead is where?
No, I'd have to dig into it.
But yeah, that's awful.
All right, that's what we got. We had a mother that lost her balance or her way in life, and I brought this up early this morning. She's 38 years old, and she dies in a crash after she rammed her boyfriend's car. Been an argument there. The car flipped. She was killed. She had a temper tantrum, and she was going to ram the ex-boyfriend there, and somehow or another the car flipped, and she was killed in it. We also had a mother that killed 3 of her children that has been arrested. She killed an 8-year-old, a set of twins, and her oldest helped her do it. I don't know where all that's headed there. California's where all that went on. Sad that things like that can happen.
That's horrible. That's horrible. Breaks my heart.
A few of the headlines that are happening there all across America this morning.
I don't understand the whole the mental stance that people have when they do stuff like that. I don't know.
Hoover Dam is where that is.
Okay.
Now, let's move to the next story, because ever since Will Smith, and maybe this happened before the Will Smith incident, where people snap or they think they have a right now to attack people whenever they say something they don't like, or maybe they don't like the price of food, as we just mentioned it. It was a scene in a McDonald's in Philadelphia, PA. Women jumped the counter and beat up the people behind the counter. This is not acceptable. Getting bad. Now, nothing like that's happened here locally.
Right.
But what happens out there usually makes its way this way. And that did happen there.
Especially if they get away with it. You know, they don't, if they're not held accountable for what they're doing.
Now, I had to read this next headline 2 or 3 times to fully understand this. But everybody remember Jared Subway? You know, he was arrested for being a pedophile.
Yeah.
There was a guy that helped him, and I thought this guy had already been to jail, been sentenced and all this, but there were some delays. But the guy that was providing him pictures was sentenced this week. He's going to get 60 years in jail. I'm sure he's been serving time since it all happened, but the sentence actually happened. 60
he and
years.
His wife. We're both in with that.
Just sick.
Yeah. Sickos.
We're thinking a lot alike today.
Yeah. They are sick.
What goes on behind closed doors, sometimes you just don't know.
Yeah.
And I met the Jared guy several times as he came through on a tour through the town.
That's the worst feeling, though, to think you know somebody and find something like that out, and it just makes you feel like, ugh, you know, like I was nice and, you know, to that person, or, you know, I would have never thought they'd have done something like that. I don't know.
Kurt was telling me that at y'all's home, y'all had the issue of the missing oatmeal Little Debbie pies. And until he caught you at midnight in there by yourself, he didn't know where they were going. He didn't know you.
Yeah.
A midnight Little Debbie girl.
Yeah. Look, those days for
Seriously.
me, I didn't have the oatmeal pie addiction, but those days of eating stuff like that, I don't even eat that anymore. But yeah, a late night, you know, that was my weakness, to get a snack at like midnight, you know, go in there and get peanut butter and crackers or something.
Every now and then you get up and go to the restroom and you think, boy, I sure wish I had such and such. Next thing you know, you're found in the refrigerator and you're camped out at the table and it's too late. Everybody knows your name.
I know. Look, especially if you eat early in the evening, which was never really the case with us much. I mean, we ate late. That was a problem. But if you eat early, then you're hungry later in the night. You're awake. You got to have a snack. But I am trying. I've lost 4 pounds.
Whoa.
I have 4 pounds in a week and a half.
I think I gained your 4 pounds. I can look at something and gain weight.
Yeah. I'm not starving myself. I'm just eating better and drinking a lot of water.
Now, is it food that the normal person wouldn't like carrots, and you chew green stuff all day?
No, not really. I'm just staying away from bread and a lot of sweets of any kind, and not drinking any soft drinks. So, because I was bad about going through the drive-thru and get a Coke. That's really the only time I would drink a Coke. You know?
Go through a drive-thru?
Yeah, and just say, give me a Coke. And so now I just get water.
Changing her eating habits there. Hey,
it really will make a difference. I mean,
we got
exercising.
a comment there about Little House on the Prairie there. Right there.
Let's see.
Lindsay Greenbush and her twin sister, Sydney, played the part of Carrie on Little House on Prairie. And I had no idea that they were twins.
I didn't either. I didn't know that. It's good to know. But that's not a name that I recognize. I don't know that I've heard that since then. Like maybe she was in anything else.
Yeah, I don't recall it either. Of course, we all know what was it, the little twins that went on to be the fashion gurus that left.
The Olsen twins.
Yes. Yeah, they made mega money there.
Yeah.
But I guess they look for twins in these smaller shows there.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What else? We mentioned about the food going up there. AOC and Eric Adams. Eric Adams, if you don't recognize the name, is the mayor of New York City. They used to be friends until he became mayor, and they haven't spoken in a year. Where would that lead? She was expecting to get favors, I'm sure.
Yeah.
The saga continues for Meghan Markle. She's been dropped by Netflix. Millions of dollars are gone. Now she's got her little bag, and she's going around trying to push her story to HBO and also, no, it's Apple and Amazon where she's taking it. Trying to get her TV show about her childhood named Pearl picked up by another network. Is everybody over that?
I think they're pretty much over her, but, I mean, because she just bashed the whole royal family.
Oh, yes, she did.
She just bashed them. I mean, you don't come up in somebody else's family that you're not even from that area or that place, and you would think you would be wanting to be welcomed in and do everything you could to be respectful.
She had one thing on her mind, I think, and that was called cash. And as the next biographer who is writing the story about her says that as a child, as a teenager, she trampled others to get where she is now. No matter what it took, if she went after it, she done whatever to get it. I'm not going to read the books. I won't know how the rest of the story ends. Right. But if you're a big fan of hers, you might want to check that out. The name of the writer is going to be Tom Bauer. And he claims, and this is a claim now, I don't know whether he knows what he's talking about, that they were all victims. The Queen, and I think all of them. And you can't, they have such dignity that they're trying to hold the line on there. And then you've got, what's his name over there that's caused? They've had some black eyes here lately.
They say the Queen has never given an interview throughout her whole years that she's reigned as Queen. She's never given an interview, and she's never publicly spoke about these things. Even with her son, and her son is Andrew, right?
Yeah.
That was involved in all that mess. But she's never really commented on any of that. She's held her composure, and I mean, I'm sure it hurts her,
Has to. So. Winnie Bartley says, whoa, y'all hang on now. Lake Mead's up here by Las Vegas, and she thinks that's why the mafia tie is tied in there, because it's near Las Vegas. Makes kind of sense to me. Back up the Cadillac, flop, and drive off.
Did somebody skip out on paying their
gambling debt?
At the casino?
That very well could have happened.
Yeah.
And if you've gangsters are gangsters, and they always will be.
Yeah.
We are Scotty Ray and Candace. More coming up here in just a moment. Don't rush off. We want you to be a part of everything that's going on today. Let's talk about cleaning. And that's our friends at Godwin Cleaning Services. They do this all the time. They make things look better, from downtown at the train station to whatever building that you may have that needs cleaning, to your home, your roof. And we've got several roofs to look at here. You may have seen this one once or twice here as we look at the tin roof, how much cleaner it is. Cleaned up, looks great. You can do this even to your driveway, your sidewalks. A complete change there from that old moldy black look up the driveway. Looks refreshing again. From your sidewalk to your deck. Doesn't take them very long either. They can be in and out before long, and your yard look great again, your home. Steps. Now that just looks old and dreary. There's nothing wrong with that. Look at that. Just needs a little bit of cleaning. From scoreboards to roofs, and this is one of the biggest changes I've ever seen.
It is.
It'll build up that old mildew. It's red again, the way it was.
I would have never known it was red.
Or whatever color you want to call it, the way it looked. See them today at Godwin Cleaning Services, the best around, 601-253-8262. They'll have you going in no time flat and get you on a schedule if you'd like to do that. Quarterly, bi-weekly, however you need things done, they'll help you there. See them, again, at Godwin Cleaning Services.
Rock House Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rock House will have the gun that you need, with a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rock House Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian. The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville is passing along these great savings this week. Bacon potatoes, only 79 cents a pound. Navel oranges, 4-pound bag, only $5.99. Country Crock spread margarine, 15-ounce bowl, 2 for $5. Coca-Cola 12-pack, 12-ounce cans, 2 for $11. Twin-pack pork Boston butt, $1.79 a pound. Certified Angus beef T-bone steaks family pack, $11.49 a pound.
We're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
If you or a loved one has been in a serious car accident, call attorney Richard Schwartz and Associates.
We'll come to you, work to get you the right medical care, and fight to get you every dollar you deserve. One call, that's all.
Call attorney Richard Schwartz and Associates today.
And welcome back, Scotty Ray and Candace, on this Tuesday morning, a gorgeous day throughout the Southland. No matter where you're watching us from across America, we certainly appreciate you joining us. So much fun to be a part of this.
It is.
Now, our next story, as we still got time for this, what if you were a woman who wanted to be a man? Mm-hmm. You go ahead and have the surgery, and you become a man. Then you figure out, well, you know what? That wasn't right. I want to be a woman again. That's the case this morning of a 27-year-old woman realizing that she doesn't represent who she is anymore. It's very confusing. I'm confused after reading the story, but she's had the surgery, and she's a man in this area.
Yeah, I would think, how would you go back? I mean, I don't know.
I guess same way what's his name did it.
I guess.
Or Bruce Jenner.
Yeah.
Or
this
Kat.
is what, I mean, like, I wouldn't recommend cutting off body parts. I mean,
in case you have...
you might want to change your mind one day.
But that's a story out there this morning.
Yeah.
Boy.
That's just like children that they're trying to,
indoctrinate.
Right, indoctrinate or whatever. To change their mind about, if they're a female being a male or a male being a female, and they want to do that at an early age. These children don't know. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They don't need to do that. They're too young to be even thinking about that, I think.
Well, as we brought up the guy from General Hospital who found out that his wife's baby was not his baby, didn't work out the same way with a New York police officer who found out his wife had a boyfriend. It went real bad south. He gunned down the wife's lover and then took his own life. He couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
That's sad story there. And briefly I'll mention this. Are y'all keeping up with the little girl who was autistic that was found dead in the home and the parents didn't do
Where they
anything?
made her sit on the couch?
Yeah.
That's awful.
The pictures of that, I'm not even going to show that, are just horrific. They say that they think she was there for probably 15 years. There was a wreck in New York that I saw yesterday of a woman that was walking down the street. Someone stole a vehicle, hit a car trying to escape, and the car hit her. I didn't show it because it was kind of graphic. She has now passed away. She lived for a little while. She was a 49-year-old mom. We pass along condolences to New York City for that happening.
That is awful.
And it goes back to crime. For no reason, this woman lost her life. And there's no way to be prepared for that. There's no way to know what's coming on something like that.
That's awful. Awful. Innocent people just being caught in the wrong place at the wrong time.
It was. And quickly, I'll mention this. This was back in 2019. A plane crash happened in South Dakota. 9 family members were on it. They have finally determined what caused the crash. The pilot didn't de-ice the wings, and when they went up, they were froze and crashed. They had no control of the flaps.
Goodness. That's scary.
And you're just a passenger. You don't know these things. But
Right.
I've
You
set
have
up
to
things.
trust that
It's a
people-
little button. That's all you got to do. It says de-ice, and you hit it, and it heats up the wing, and it's all clear.
Gosh. Yeah, you got to trust that people are doing the right thing.
But after a lengthy investigation, they have finally done that.
You got a busy day?
Yeah, a little bit. I got to be here. I got to be there. I'm going to do it. We want to say thank y'all for being a part of us.
Yes.
Making the show such a success.
That's right. We always appreciate you and appreciate your comments. And
Coming up tomorrow, we're going to weigh Candace. She claims 4 pounds. We'll see if she loses anything today.
Well, I probably won't lose a lot before I'm trying.
Thank y'all. We do appreciate you. We'll be back tomorrow morning, bright and early, right here. Same place, same time. Thank y'all. And if you've got anything, always inbox us. Let us know.
All right. Have a good day.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: